Oh, hey, what's up, you guys? How's it going? It's Papa, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my Burning Abyss deck profile that I have for the upcoming February 7th format in the TCG. So, with the new ban list, Arch Nemesis Protoss got banned, which was holding this deck back, and being able to just use dark effects is really broken. So, since Protoss was legal, I didn't feel comfortable playing decks like Burning Abyss, decks like Phantom Knight. So I'm really glad that that card's gone now, because now you can really let this deck shine, and it's a really fun deck. I mean, it can still be competitive, and it's fairly, it's fairly budget as well. I really like this deck. I've played this deck for a long period of time, and I always just end up coming right back to it. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the deck. It is a 42 card main deck. Starting off, we play the Best Girl. We play 3 copies of Tour Guide. I love this card to death. Probably my ride or die. She's the bestest girl because it brings out Graph. Graph gets you full combo. Well, basically Tour Guide alone gets you full combo, but love it. What can I say? 3 copies of Rhino Warrior. You don't have to play 3 copies of Rhino. You could play 2 if you want to get the deck more closer to 40. I like 3 Rhino just because being able to summon this and reveal a BA from hand to make sure like you can still go into your Dante turn 1 is really good. This card does a lot for the deck, a lot more than what most people think, but I definitely wouldn't play the deck without 3 Rhino. I really like it a lot. 3 Skarm. You could debatably play 2 of this as well, because it doesn't really do anything like right away once you mill this. I mean, like going second, it kind of sucks, because it's probably going to get negated anyway. But when you go first and you're able to set up a Skarm in the end phase, then you're basically just going to kill your opponent the next turn. 3 Graph. Shouldn't say anything too much. This is the best one to mill other than Skarm. We also play 2 Seer. It's a really great card, but I don't think you need it at 3. So we're just playing 2 of it. 2 Farfa. Again, same thing. Really great card, but not needed at 3. 2 is fine. 1 Alich. I always go back and forth on if I want to play this card or not, but lately it's been a lot better. 1 Libic. This is just an extra extender. Calcab, basically, since we are now in a back row format, don't get me wrong, Phantom Knight is going to be very predominant in this format, so this is good for hitting cards like the Fog Blade, really good against Eldritch for bouncing back skill drains and cards that they set, just so that way they don't get to activate. So I really do like Calcab a lot because it does hit a lot of problematic cards, and who knows, it could just be very, very useful for you. And then 1 Barbar. I shouldn't have to say too much about this lineup because I have talked about this exact lineup in the past with my Burning Abyss list. I do like this lineup a lot. I think it is really good, really consistent, and just a lot of fun, man. And that's what this deck is. It's a lot of fun. Dante survived another list, so that's cool. For non-BAs, I switched the lineup. I actually play 2 Backjack now. I saw Pack try this in a list a long time ago, and I've always wanted to try like playing 2 Backjack, but I've always only had 1. Now that I have 2, after testing it, it's been actually really good. Don't get me wrong, if you mill it your turn 1, it kind of sucks, but going second, being able to send this off Beatrice, being able to discard this if you draw it with your discard traps, it's really good. The only thing that sucks is when you draw this, your opening hand, and you don't have like an extra BA because you can't summon this. Or if you have like a BA, you can't reveal summon because then it just dies. But Backjack's a really great card. It really does come up in the grind game too, where you need 2 of them. But I really like it. I think I'm going to stick with 2 in the future. And the last monster we play is a Fairy Tale Snow. We aren't playing any hand traps. If we were, it would probably be just Maxi, but since Maxi is not legal, we are just playing the 1 Snow because you can send this with Beatrice. You can send this from your hand with your discard traps. Just a busted card. Like, who doesn't love a free Book of Moon? And then for traps, there's a lot of them. We play 2 Fiend Griefing. I don't feel comfortable playing this at 3 just yet. I do like this card a lot. I have played 3 of it in the past, but we don't really know the format yet. It's really good for hitting the Phantom Knights in Graveyard, so that way they don't get to banish and use their effects. Fiend Griefing does have a lot of good uses, but right now I am only playing 2. Double Karma Cut. I like this card a lot just because being able to resolve this against an Eldritch player, if you hit their Golden Lord in Graveyard and they have 2, then it gets rid of both of them, and then they're just relying on their traps, which don't do a whole lot. So basically, if you can get rid of the Lord, you're winning the game. But it's also really good against hitting like Tenyus, because Tenyus do tend to stack up. And then they can't make Monk, and then when they don't make Monk, you get to make it to where they can't banish themselves in the graveyard. I don't know. I think Karma Cut's really good, especially because like with Dinomischus, like this is only once per turn, so that kind of blows. But they both basically do the same thing. This one has a little bit more restriction to it, but I do like these cards a lot in the deck. A card that I've always loved in Burning Abyss is 3 Phoenix Wind Blast. I will always play this card in BA most likely. Don't quote me on that though, because there has been times where I haven't played it. But this is a really great card, and I'm really glad I'm playing it, because being able to just put stuff on the top of the deck, especially like in the grind game when your opponent's just top decking, then you're most likely going to be winning that matchup. 3 Torrential Tribute, probably the best trap in the format. I don't know how this is still a 3. 3 Ice Dragon's Prison, again, another amazing trap, does a whole lot for you. 3 Solemn Strike, shouldn't have to explain, probably the best trap card of all time. This card just does so much, stops summons, stops effects, and it has a really good like pay too. 1500 is not bad. And then the last card we play is a Call by the Grave. It's the only spell in the deck, but it basically acts as a pseudo trap card. But that's going to round up the main deck. It is 42 cards again, just 42. You don't need more, you don't need less. For the extra deck, we are playing the Purple Dante. Being able to resolve this, you're probably going to be winning the game. You'll just be way too far ahead. Double Dante. You don't need 3. You could play 3 if you want, but you don't need 3. I've never seen the situation where I have needed 3 of this, because if anything, I've just gone into Fortune Tune and I've made a Zeus. So I just don't think you need 3 Dante, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree. Downer Magician, it's just an extra material for your Zeus when it does come up. Beatrice, probably the best card in the extra deck. This card should actually just be banned, but I actually just want it at 3. Zeus, again, probably could be banned, but card's insanely broken, but you don't need more than 1 of it. For links, we play 1 Gravity Controller, 1 Cherubini, 1 Masquerena, 1 Phoenix, Unicorn, Trisbana. I actually like this card a lot in this deck, especially with Skill Drain now being at 3. If you are able to bait out the Skill Drain and then you just make this, you just clear your opponent's back row. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be a lot harder now that Skill Drain's at 3, but if you can resolve Trisbana, it's actually just insane. So I definitely feel like you need to play it. And then for Link 4s, I play an Access Code Talker, and I play a Boral Sword Dragon, depending on the situation. But the extra deck's not really complete. The Boral Sword is just like a spicy tech, I guess. I don't know. You don't have to play Boral Sword, but granted, you don't have to play Access Code either. It depends on your budget if you can play it, but I just don't know what the 15th card would be. I've toyed around with playing like a what's it called? A Break Sword, but it just doesn't come up enough for me, so I just threw in the Boral Sword Dragon, just in case you're trying to go for game. For the side deck, really quick, just 2 Gamma Seal. I don't really want to see a whole lot of monsters in this deck. I'd rather just see my spells and traps, just because they are the most powerful. But when you're going up against decks like Ignist or decks like, what's it called? Sword Soul. Basically just being able to get rid of their big problematic card is the best way of doing it. So I felt the best way to do that would be the Gamma Seal. And I don't know. So far online, I've never seen it, so I can't really tell you too much, but I've always liked playing Gamma Seal with BA, just being able to get as many bodies on board, or bodies off the board. Really good. 3 Twin Twister, and a Feather Duster, because we are also just not losing going second against back row decks. And to show you that too, I'm also playing Red Reboot, and I'm playing 3 copies of Evenly Match as well. So basically, these are your going second cards in general. I get Red Reboot might be a little strange since you are playing a trap deck, but you are playing the monsters to coincide with your traps, so that way, like, even though you are a trap-based deck, then you can still combo and play through your opponent's interruptions with your monsters if your traps don't do the work for you. But this is really good for mainly Eldritch. It's also been good against Altergeist when I have played it, but this card just does a whole lot. It should arguably be banned, but it is just the new Saki one of Evenly's Evenly. Shouldn't have to explain too much about that. Triple Solemn Judgment for going first, and then double Anti-Spell Fragrance for going first as well. But yeah, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it. I hope you enjoyed this list. Again, this format is starting to look really diverse. It's definitely more balanced now that Protoss is banned and IO is banned. It gives a lot more decks like open range to play whatever they want. And I definitely feel like this is that deck that I just want to play. I've always loved Burning Abyss. I've loved what the deck can do. Don't get me wrong, I've definitely been annoyed playing against it just as much as everyone else has. But when you're the one in control, then the deck is a whole lot of fun. Super cheap, super well balanced, and it can still compete with this meta, which you can't say a whole lot about other rogue decks. But until next time, guys, this has been Papa, and I will catch you all in my next video. Take care, everyone.